Congressman Ron Pauls, you appear to have consistent, principled integrity. Americans don't usually go for that.
How are you going to stand out tonight?
Well, I guess just telling the truth like I did last time. The sooner we come home, the better. If they declare there's no progress in September, we should come home. It was a mistake to go, so it's a mistake to stay. If we made the wrong diagnosis, we should change the treatment. The biggest incentive for them to take upon themselves the responsibility is just for us to leave. We don't need to lose 100 men and women every month who want it done. You want them to take over, you've got to give them an incentive. So I think we should immediately stop patrolling the streets. That's a policeman's job. It's not the work of the Army. And now we are fighting a war, and our foreign operations around the world to maintain our empire is now approaching $1 trillion a year. That's where the money's going, and that's where it has to be cut so we can take care of education and medical cares that are needed here in this country.
I mean, we've got a pretty good economy going here, right? I mean, we've got productivity soaring. We've got retail sales that are strong. We've got corporate earnings that, for what, the 19th quarter, are up double-digit.
That's nice, but when you have to borrow, my personal finances would be very good if I borrowed $1 million every month, but someday the bills will become due. And border security is important. And we've talked about amnesty, which I'm positively opposed to. But one thing that has not been mentioned here, which I think is very, very important, if you subsidize something, you get more of it. So we subsidize illegal immigration. We reward it by easy citizenship, either birthright or amnesty. But we force our states and our local communities to pay for the health care and pay for the education. But if we had a truly free market economy, the illegal immigrants would not be the scapegoat. We would probably need them and they would be acceptable. But because of economic conditions, they have become the scapegoat.
Congressman Paul, what's the most pressing moral issue in the United States right now?
I think it is the acceptance just recently that we now promote preemptive war. I do not believe that's part of the American tradition. We in the past have always declared war in the defense of our liberties or go to aid somebody. But now we have accepted the principle of preemptive war. We have rejected the just war theory of Christianity. And now tonight we hear that we're not even willing to remove from the table a preemptive nuclear strike against the country that has done no harm to us directly and is no threat to our national security. I mean, we have to come to our senses about this issue of war and preemption and go back to traditions and our Constitution and defend our liberties and defend our rights, but not to think that we can change the world by force of arms and to start war. We succumb to the temptation to protect oil interests by literally going out and fighting wars over oil. We have a lot of goodness in this country and we should promote it, but never through the barrel of a gun. We should do it by setting good standards, motivating people, and have them want to emulate us. But you can't enforce our goodness like the neocons preach with an armed force. It doesn't work. Woodrow Wilson was telling us about that in promoting democracy a long time ago. It doesn't work, and we have to admit it. That we just don't need more laws determining religious things or prayer in school. We should allow people at the local level. That's what the Constitution tells us. We don't need somebody in Washington telling us what we can do because we don't have perfect knowledge. We don't get our rights because we're gays or women or minorities. We get our rights from our Creator as individuals. So every individual should be treated the same way. See a stream down your face when you lose something you cannot replace.
If America was a smarter country, wouldn't you be leading in the polls?
I would introduce this novel idea that we ought to follow the Constitution. There are still a few Americans that believe in it.
A humble foreign policy, no nation building, don't police the world. The purpose of government is to protect the secrecy and the privacy of all individuals, not the secrecy of government. The freedom message brings us together. It doesn't divide us.
Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.